Liz?
All right, let's continue our conversation and bring in North Dakota Senator John Hoeven. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Good to be with you.
I want to get your reaction first and foremost. We heard your colleague there, Senator Lindsey Graham, say that lifting sanctions is off the table, so he wasn't necessarily responding to this new report. But what is your response, and also the fact that we're hearing, he was trying to make nice with Vice President Mike Pence after perhaps giving him false information. Looking forward, I just want to hear your input.
I think the key is we have to find out what happened. And as I recall, President Trump said before leaving for Florida that he was going to check into and investigate exactly what had happened, what was said, both by his security advisor, Flynn, to the Russian ambassador, and then also the conversation with the vice president. So, the first step is to find out, what was the discussion,
if there was something inappropriate, if there were talking anything about sanctions, then what?
So it depends what it was. What was the discussion? But I think the concern that you're seeing from some of the Republican members in the Senate is that we have to take a strong line with Russia. They interfered with our election. Putin is an adversary. We have to be clear-eyed about what he's doing, and we have to stand up to him. And I think that's where some of the Republican senators are coming from, is we need to have a very strong position in terms of standing up to Vladimir Putin.
Okay, I want to shift topics here because there's a couple things I want to talk about with you since you are here. Obviously, another big headline was the fact that we may be seeing a new executive order from President Trump come down as early as Monday when it comes to possible travel bans. I want to get your reaction. Do you want to see a new executive order, or do you want to see the one in place challenged? Do you want to see that go to court?
Well, the advantage of a new executive order is you could address some of the shortfalls or problems that occurred with the initial executive order. Even the Secretary of Homeland Security, General Kelly, came out and said, look, this could have been rolled out better, and there are some things that need to be addressed, like legal permanent residence, so forth. That's something that could be addressed in a new executive order, while still making sure that we're doing the vetting that needs to be done to keep America safe.
There's some things that won't change. So, for example, that weren't challenged. The limit on how many refugees can come into the country was brought down, if I'm not mistaken, by quite a large number. Is that parts like that, you do want to see that stay in place, correct?
Well, I think what we want to see happen, and that serves everybody in America, it's about keeping America safe, is making sure we can vet anyone that's coming to our country. That's the key, getting it right, doing it within the law, not having any kind of religious test, but making sure that we can and do vet people that come to our country.
Not a slow day in the office for you. I do want to bring up one more topic, because
Sure.
Next week we could be seeing perhaps the confirmation hearing for Steve Mnuchin as he goes ahead as the Treasury Secretary. What's going on behind the scenes? Because we saw some of the Democrats sitting out of boycotting his committee hearing last week. What's taking place?
Well, what happened with the Finance Committee was that the Democrats did not show up to the committee meeting to have the vote. I mean, they had every opportunity to come and to have a vote, but as part of a delaying process, they didn't show up. So the committee went ahead and voted him out. So he was on the floor this past week. He I think, got 53 votes. I expect he will again and be approved on Monday.
Can we foresee a very contentious Monday?
I don't think so. I think it's pretty well cut and dried now. We'll approve Mnuchin, and then we'll go on to Dr. Shilkin, the head of the VA. We need to get these people approved and into these positions, because remember, it's about getting the work done for the American people.
I think that's sort of my final question. You have a lot of people at home who are frustrated at the pace that this is moving along. What message can you tell them? Are the intentions good, and there's just they're going through all the proper ways of just slowing down the process? I'm sort of.
That's it. Look, it's about getting the work done that moves our country forward. So we've got to find some bipartisanship here and get to work on these important issues, whether it's repealing and replacing Obamacare, tax reform, reducing the regulatory burden, all these things that really make a difference for our country.
We have a lot on your schedule, sir.
We do.
And we thank you for joining us on a Saturday. We appreciate it.
Good to be with you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Senator. Very much so.